She's got a little toy that's a little bug, and she's really giving it the business. Hey y'all, it's Lindsay, and it's time for Wellness Wednesday, week 18. I haven't seen you for a few weeks on a Wellness Wednesday, and there's good reason for that. I did the hashtag AllInAprilTHM challenge that was issued by Claire from Cookie Crumb Fun, and I chose to do that as like a Veda thing where every day, or at least most days, I was showing you everything I ate. So there's like a lot of what I eat in a day's on my channel now. That was really fun, but it was a little bit too much for me to be able to film all of Veda and upload and do all of the back end work for that and get a Wellness Wednesday uploaded on Wednesdays. I'm sorry, Lauren is right over here in her little GoPod thing, so she's very distracting. What was I saying, Lulu? So the point is, I put Wellness Wednesday in the back seat for a little bit and just focused on filming my What I Eat in a Day videos so that I could participate in that challenge. I want to tell you what happened at the scale this week. The last Wellness Wednesday that I did was on April 4th, and I weighed in at 144.4 pounds. And today on the scale, I weighed in at 145.6. So that's a 1.2 pound gain, and it's actually the exact weight that I was at my last March weigh-in. So I have netted nothing in a whole month. But I would like to go ahead and just kind of give an overview or kind of a recap, or just kind of assess how hashtag AllInAprilTHM challenge went for me. And the intention behind that challenge was for us to be on plan with Trim Healthy Mama 100% for the entire month of April. And I did that. And that I feel really good about. However, I discussed on my Wellness Wednesday, the last one that I did back at the beginning of April, that I believed that being all in was more than just eating on-plan foods. I talked about how I felt it was changing up your fuels and getting plenty of vegetables in, making sure that we were really committing to all of the principles and best practices that are involved in Trim Healthy Mama. So I preached it, but I didn't learn it. I did not follow through on that for I did here and there. You know what I mean? Like, it would be a couple of days of being on my best behavior with best practices involved, and then a couple of days of backsliding, and just back and forth like that. I definitely learned a lot of things, and I could take AllInAprilTHM challenge to be a failure on my part because I didn't lose any weight, but I'm gonna choose to look at it as what things did I learn about myself and about me on this plan and walking through it the way that I did. What are some things that I've learned that I can apply in the future months, specifically right now? And I thought I would share a few of those with you. First and foremost, I may have done a couple of food prep videos throughout April, but I didn't really plan my food. I didn't do it at all. It was very much so like, I feel like doing this, so I'll do that. Or I'll have these things prepped and on hand so that I can have them whenever I feel like it. And that is the beauty of doing food prep. I could have a couple of different breakfasts available to me in the refrigerator and not have to really decide until that moment, which I really like. But when it came to dinner time, I didn't have a very well thought out plan. Honestly, there were a lot of evenings where I just wanted whatever was easiest, fastest, simplest. And that leads me to the second thing that I really noticed about my diet while I was doing the challenge, and that was I've been eating entirely too much pork. I was eating summer sausage like there was no tomorrow. I was eating ground sausage. I was having tons of ham. I was just having a lot of pork products. Not just pork products, I was having a lot of processed pork products. And they were on plan. They were definitely drive-through Sue personal choice kind of things, but I was having a lot of them. And I just really felt it laid on my heart that I need to ease up on the amount of pork that I'm eating. And I don't feel like I'm overeating on things like pork chops or pork tenderloin. In fact, I didn't have any pork tenderloin the entire month of April. And I feel like those more pure forms of pork are not a trouble area for me personally. It's those cured meats. It's things that are like processed a little bit heavier. Oh dear. We're just gonna let her chatter away over there while I'm talking here. So, poor planning, too much pork, processed pork especially, and then I was eating a ton of crossovers, and I was not allowing for a full 3 hours to go between a snack and a meal or a coffee or any of that. I was really shortening up all of those things. I would have a coffee first thing in the morning. 1 hour later, I would have another coffee. And then an hour later, I would eat breakfast. And then it wouldn't be an hour and a half later, I would have some kind of a snack or another coffee. I might push it back till lunchtime, but at the same time, I was not giving myself a full 3 hour window of no food or coffee. I feel like coffee counts in that particular category. And I know that I'm nursing, and I feel like crossovers while you're nursing are a wonderful tool, but they're wonderful tools to use when you are actually waiting 2.5 or 3 hours between feeding your body some sort of fuel. Too many crossovers with too short of a window between snacks and meals, not a recipe for success. I gotta show you. You talking? And lastly, I did not follow my best practices as far as where are your greens, like listening to the podcast for the Trim Healthy Mama Potty. I listen to that thing a lot, all the time. I re-listen to episodes because I need the refresher, or I glean fresh information to me. It's not fresh information to everybody, but to me it's like, oh, I needed to hear that today. And I feel very blessed that they provide the podcast to us so that we can get that encouragement and refreshment from Pearl and Serene. And I kind of like having Danny there too, I'm not gonna lie. All right, she's gonna join us. What do you think of this hair? So having that podcast really encourages me. Okay, to recap, poor planning, too much pork, processed pork, too many crossovers with too short of a window between my meals, and then I didn't follow my best practices, which were things like making sure that I had enough greens every day. I was drinking a ton of water, which I don't have a problem with. I just wasn't following those best practices the way that I really wanted to and preached that we should be doing on that Wellness Wednesday at the beginning of April. So I stayed on plan 100%, and I didn't feel the burnout of staying on plan. Sometimes, you know, you can get burnt out from constantly having to come up with something that is on plan, which is where that actual like menu plan or meal plan comes in handy. It makes it a lot easier to follow Trim Healthy Mama if you do that. What am I gonna do moving forward? I've got a list. So this week I have got a few things that I plan to focus on in order to kickstart some success for May. Obviously, I'm gonna stay on Trim Healthy Mama plan, like stay on plan for just until, you know what I mean? I'm gonna stay on plan. I'm not gonna deviate as far as food is concerned. And another thing that I'm going to do is have a glass of water before my first cup of coffee. Coffee is gonna be second from now on. And that's not to say that I can't drink coffee, because I can totally drink coffee. I'm not gonna have coffee first. I'm gonna have a full glass of water, probably with a little lemon juice and a little bit of apple cider vinegar. And then once I've finished that, I can start having coffee. Here's another thing I'm gonna do. I am going to, instead of just drinking plain water all day, every day, which I love, I really love water, I am going to be making Keto-Aid. I've talked about this in a few videos in the past, and I'll just tell you exactly what it is. It is about a tablespoon of lime juice or lemon juice, I love lime, and then about a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, a few drops of stevia, a teeny weeny pinch of mineral salt, and then you fill the rest of like a pint-sized jar with water. So I plan to drink a full quart of that every day. And I think the benefit there is apple cider vinegar is really good for you. I love the lime flavor, and the mineral salt will help with electrolytes. So I think that given how much water I do drink in a day, I do have the potential to deplete some of the minerals and nutrients in my body. And so by having the Keto-Aid, it will help to replenish what I lose throughout the day. This is a good one. I have been hit or miss this month in the month of April with my vitamins and supplements. I would get on a run of a few days of doing it well, and then I would have a day where I forgot. So then that turned into 3 days of forgetting, and then a few days of remembering, and a few days of forgetting. And my body needs supplemental magnesium. Not everybody does. I do. I just don't get as much as my body needs from all of the veggies and such. So I can tell whenever my body is lacking in magnesium, and it has been lacking in magnesium. So I need to be back on the consistent train for that. We were sleep training Lauren, and that failed. She goes, haha, that failed. That failed. Okay. I don't know if that all came together or not, because I've been very distracted by this creature right here. But I'm gonna go ahead and call it good here. So I would love to know if you participated in #AllInAprilTHM challenge, and if you did, how did it go for you? How has your month been? I feel like we've been a little disconnected from talking about wellness. Leave me a comment below, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye. Lulu. You're so funny, ma'am.